Okay, finally, I think I'm on. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. It took like 10 minutes to get that done. Whew. All right, so let's go ahead and begin because this shit is ridiculous. That didn't make no damn sense to take that damn long to get online. All right, let's begin. Shit.
Let's get it. Green light, let's get it. Green light, let's get it. Green light, let's get it. I'm the future, I'm in it. Check score, I'm winning. Green light, let's get it. I just win. Win. I'm on 10.
Oh, great. And now there's a fucking lag. Now there's a fucking ridiculously long ass lag. That's just wonderful. What the fuck is today? I don't know what the hell today is, but it must be a goddamn holiday or something because this is ridiculous. But anyways, hello, I'm Kisu. I just wanted to feel caramel and cute, so this is what I'm doing. I like the dress, and I just wanted to be kind of blonde, but not really blonde. So this is what I'm doing today. Anyways, how y'all doing? Let me go ahead and do that. This has been some shit. Hold on here. What is that? Okay. So let me go ahead and greet y'all.
Hello, motherfucker. Hi.
And
Hello.
so we're gonna go ahead and start with some tea already. Let's just begin because I don't know what the fuck is going on now.
And then the smoke.
It's still not working. That bitch is still not fucking working. Where is that damn window? I could have sworn I know what happened. Give me a second here. The settings. This is so irritating. My screen is still not working. I don't know what the hell is going on, and I don't want to turn around and spend some money that, because this is ridiculous. It really is. All my shit is breaking. Because I'm so annoyed with this. This don't make no damn sense. Okay, here we go. And there. Fly. Okay, I hope. One. And it's fucking small. But you know what? I'm gonna make it big once I get this bitch up here. Oh boy, I'm so mad. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Let me get this big so y'all can see it properly. It is one hell of a day. That's all I can say. It's a hell of a motherfucking day. All right, so Cardi B says Nicki Minaj's younger sister needs guidance after attending her Houston concert. I didn't even know I knew she was making music, but I didn't really know she was making music because I don't be out there like that anymore. But I don't know. She looks prettier than her damn sister. That's for damn sure. She looks more natural as well. Cause I don't know what to say. This shit is starting to look like fucking circus. I can say that naturally because I am natural, and I just want to say, yeesh. That's all I can say. Yeesh. Some of these people. But anyways, let me go ahead and begin with this because it's gonna be a day. Shit. I didn't even know it was daylight savings time. I'm sitting up there at 1:00 in the morning writing down notes. Come to find the fuck out, it's 3:00. Because I said I was gonna go to bed at 2. I look at the damn clock. It's 3. I'm like, the fuck? I went to bed. It was 5. I don't know how shit happened. Anyways, now let's start with a little hip hop mess because the internet absolutely cannot survive a day without trying to manufacture beef. So Cardi B recently found herself in the middle of a situation involving Ming Lee, who happens to be Nicki Minaj's 20-year-old half-sister. Is this her real name? Is this her government name? I don't know. Ming Lee showed up at Cardi's Little Miss Drama Tour stop in Houston on March 4th, and videos started circulating online showing her vibing, rapping along, and clearly enjoying the show. So people can enjoy motherfucking shows just because they are related to other people? Fuck. I don't know what to tell you then. I'm related to a lot of motherfuckers. I don't know them personally, but I'm related to these bastards, and that ain't gonna stop me from listening to what the hell I like. God dang it. Anyways, all the speculation. I don't know what to tell you. The speculation is a trip. Let's see here now. And of course, the internet immediately lost its mind Fans started pushing this idea that Ming Lee showing up was some type of betrayal, some kind of loyalty test, like people in rap are supposed to pick sides like it's a civil war or something. Last time I checked, whatever fucking music I want to listen to, I'm a goddamn listen to. That's all I can say. But anyways, Cardi B addressed the situation during an X Spaces, I think that was on Twitter, conversation, and surprisingly, she took a very grown approach. Cardi basically said, "Look, the girl is young. She's 20. She doesn't need to be dragged into grown folks' drama. Well, 20 is technically an adult, but okay, lady." Cardi even said that she feels like Ming Lee needs guidance, calling her a young girl who shouldn't be pulled into the mess between older artists. Well, I agree with that. And honestly, that's probably the most mature thing we've heard in a rap feud in a long time. Cardi explained she's not interested in embarrassing someone who came to support her music. If somebody comes to the show peacefully, she's not about to start acting funny just to entertain the internet. Oh, hey girl, I'm gonna tell you right now, this goddamn internet is going crazy. I've been trying to get online for about 6 minutes, but yeah, this is what's happening now. She even made it clear she's too grown to be beefing with somebody that young, which, to be honest, is a rare moment of common sense in social media area. Yeah, I don't argue with kids because honestly, I already know my time is fucking precious and you are not eating it. Meanwhile, Ming Lee herself responded on Instagram, basically telling fans to relax. Her response: "Pick a side, no side. Who said you can't love both?" And honestly, she's right. The only people who really want this drama are fans who treat rap beef like a reality TV show. Now, the tension between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj goes all the way back to 2017 with social media shots, diss records, and of course, the infamous New York Fashion Week incident in 2018 where shoes started flying. I just hope they weren't stanky. I saw that. I caught a glimpse of your live earlier. What was it? What did you see? Because all I saw was initializing. And Cardi B, at least this time, seems perfectly happy letting the internet fight with itself. I'm not worried about this damn thing. That's all I got to say. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is up with the looks. I thought, wow, the younger sister looked better. I don't know what else to tell you. But before we move on, I'm gonna go ahead and put my commercial up. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, share my message. If you don't like what I'm doing and you just want to tell me what I can do, give me some recommendations. Respectfully, hit me up in the comments. I actually might take it to heart. Now, if you just want to waste my time, misspell shit, and get everything sideways, go ahead. I got time. I ain't got no job right now. I got time because I will delete your shit and then drag your ass namelessly. Okay? That's it. Go ahead and check this out.
It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the. It's just me and the fam. Yeah, yeah. It's just me and the fam. See my little tay-tay, that's my hype girl, that's my mascot. No one's go for hours and some hours till we pass out. Stay inside the house, turn up with them racks out. Stay inside the house, turn.
Okay, thank you for telling me because I wasn't sure. I'm sitting up there like, I don't know if I should start doing this like the regular or not. And right now is a fucking huge lag. So if I answer you really late, or you think I'm ignoring you, I'm not. The lag is real. That's all I'm saying. So here, look at this shit here. Mother demands answers after 4-year-old son is unalived and hit and run driver outside New York hospital. Wasn't connected. We're in a bad storm today. Shoot, my mom said she was in a bad storm last night. I don't deny it, but also apparently a whole bunch of people are online because at least that's what the system told me. It said there was a huge demand. I'm like, who the hell and what the hell are they talking about at 6:30 p.m. because savings time fucked me up on a Sunday. But anyways, let's talk about this story right here. It's heartbreaking. A 4-year-old boy named Zachariah Padilla was unalived in Brooklyn after being struck by a hit and run driver outside Brookdale University Hospital. Okay, there's several things that are wrong with that. We gonna do the best we can with this old YouTube. Yes, we will. Here's the red flags. Okay, one, you're in a hospital area, you should not be speeding. I have seen some fools running around looking like they speeding, and it's not people going to the ER. They're just trying to get the hell out. I don't know what the hell's wrong with them. And two, you hit and run, bastard. In a hospital area, according to police, the incident happened Thursday morning around 11 a.m. in the Brownsville neighborhood near Rockaway Parkway and Linden Boulevard. I'm trying to go up there, my birthday, a little day trip, because I ain't got money to be trying to parlay and shit. But anyways, Zachariah had just left an urgent care visit with his mother, Harmony Wright. At some point, he broke away and ran into the street. Oh, Lord, that's when you hold on to them babies the tightest, because you never know. And that's when witnesses saw a Ford vehicle struck him. But instead of stopping to help, the driver kept going. No brakes, no attempts to help the child, just drove off. The 4-year-old was critically injured and died from his injuries. And now his mother is left trying to understand how somebody could hit a small child and simply disappear. If you ain't noticed the news, ma'am, I don't know what to tell you. I done seen so much disgusting shit. I'm still trying to figure this shit out. I honestly believe that the jackass orangutan in office and all his damn creature friends are possessed by the devil. I really do, because I just can't explain how a human can do some of this stupid shit they're doing. Anyways, Harmony Wright is begging the driver to come forward, say, oh Lord, they have not caught this asshole, saying God already sees what happened and there is no hiding from it. She described her home now as painfully silent without Zachariah's voice, saying she feels like she lost everything. And sadly, this tragedy is even deeper. Zachariah was her last child living at home. Her older son was shot, and you already know, in Charlotte 2024, meaning she has now lost 2 children in 2 separate tragedies. She plans to bury Zachariah next to his brother. A witness at the scene, a cab driver named Jules, described seeing the boy lying on the street, bleeding while his mother ran to him screaming. He said it was one of the most traumatic things he had ever seen. Police are now reviewing surveillance footage in hopes of identifying the driver. But this story raises a larger issue. Hit and run cases have been rising across major cities in the United States, especially in areas with heavy traffic and poor pedestrian protections. And too often, families are left begging for justice while the person responsible disappears in the traffic like nothing happened. For Harmony Wright, this is just not about police investigation. It's about accountability. She lost 2 babies. Oh my goodness. Because a 4-year-old child should never leave a hospital visit and end up losing his life in the streets. Seriously. Whoo, Lord. See, this is why I don't care what anybody says. All that gentle parenting and shit. Hell no. Had I even tried to run, my mother would have yanked my ass back and probably put the fear of God in me. Real talk. And even, no. You hold on to them kids, or if you got to, put a damn leash on them. I don't give a shit if it looks stupid. At least your baby close to you, and you know that a jackass won't run them over. Shit, that was horrible. Anyways, moving on. Gonna talk about this next story because I don't know what to tell you. I'm still trying to get used to stuff, and I'm still trying to figure out why do people do this. Why would you get in a position like this? But you'll see what I mean in a second. Check this out.
Emotional content.
I mean, everything is fucked up today. So, big news on Sidney Dorsey, the ex-Georgia sheriff convicted of murder conspiracy. How the hell you get into a conspiracy on this shit? This feels like something straight out of a political crime drama, except it's real. honestly, at this point, this is the most unreal, unserious, goddamn, unrealistic freaking year of my existence, moment of existence I have ever experienced. I am so serious. And I actually figured out the meaning of life for one split second. It disappeared right after. But anyways, um, former DeKalb County Sheriff Sidney Dorsey, it's always somebody in power, has actually died at age 86 while serving a life sentence in prison. And his name will forever be tied to one of the most shocking political crimes in Georgia history. Back in 1996, Dorsey made history by becoming the first black sheriff. Oh, god dang it, why it gotta be one of ours? Ever elected in DeKalb County. I hope he won't be the last. At the time, Atlanta was booming. Hip hop culture was exploding. Freaknik parties were bringing thousands of visitors into the city, probably doing a baby boom like nobody's business. And the 1996 Olympics Games had put Atlanta on the global stage. I've been to Atlanta once, but I've never been to Freaknik, and from what I heard, there is no Freaknik anymore, and I think I dodged a bullet. Shit. Anyways, Dorsey was widely supported in the black community and had built a reputation working on investigations connected to Atlanta child murder cases involving Wayne Williams. But his time in power would end in scandal. In the 2000 election, voters chose former DeKalb County Chief Derwin Brown to replace Dorsey as sheriff. Brown ran on promises to clean up corruption inside the sheriff's department, but he never got the chance. Just days before he was supposed to be sworn in, Derwin Brown was assassinated outside his house. God dang. For a sheriff's spot? Is it that serious? Damn. Anyways, he was pew-pewed 12 times while walking up his driveway. Investigators quickly realized the unaliving was not random. It was a contract, and the man who ordered it was the outgoing chief sheriff. What the hell were you doing that seriously? To want someone, oh god dang it, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. The case shook DeKalb County and destroyed public trust in its law enforcement leadership. Really? That's the one that made it? Not all the other shit they done done? That's the one that made you not trust them. Wow. Okay. In wait a minute here now. Let's see here now. Yeah, and potentially exposing corruption inside the department. For real? I'm just saying, I skipped something. But I'm just saying, and the men, prosecutors proved that they orchestrated assassination to prevent Brown from taking office and potentially exposing corruption inside. What the hell were you doing that much that you had to do all of that? God dang, that's ridiculous. Anyways, in 2002, Dorsey was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Years later, in 2007, he admitted he had indeed arranged the unaliving. The case shook DeKalb County and destroyed public trust in it. I still don't understand that shit. For the Brown family, the loss never faded. Derwin Brown's widow, Phyllis Brown, once considered running for office to carry on her husband's mission, but her children feared losing another parent. Please don't do that shit. God dang it. Because we really don't need no revenge stories in real life. We really don't. So she stepped away from politics. Now, with Sidney Dorsey's death, one chapter of that tragedy closes. But the impact of the betrayal of public trust, man, public trust has been gone since shit. We ain't even got to the 80s when that shit was gone. God, you talking about how we ain't got trust now. But it's still remembered in Georgia politics today. Shit, I never lived in Georgia, but I'll tell you this one. How the hell did that make people lose it? Whew. Well, I'm telling you, he gone, and I'm just trying to figure this shit out. Are we in a real world, or are we in another reality? Because the shit that's going down is ridiculous. It's like, what the fuck? I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, it's not over. This next story gonna make you just, ooh. You shouldn't have been talking shit. Give me a second. I gotta switch the thing around. There it is. Ex-Cal State University basketball coach accused of pimping and more. You can't make this shit up. Here's a story that sounds unbelievable until you realize it's unfortunately very real. This is not one of those black excellence stories. I can tell you that right now. A former assistant basketball coach at California State University Bakersfield, Kevin Mays, has been arrested and charged with running a multi-state sex trafficking operation. What is wrong with people? This has to be Armageddon. It really has to be. Authorities say Mays was operating across California, Washington, Nevada, and Oregon. Yeah, he multitasked, allegedly trafficking women while presenting himself publicly as a college athletics professional. Sir, you should be able to get off because the most diabolical trafficker is in the White House. You should obviously get. I don't agree with it, but because of the state of the nation, you will probably most likely get a pardon. All you got to do is get some money and give it to the orange orangutan, the naked orange orangutan in the White House. I didn't vote for that bitch. Anyways, the charges against him are serious. Police say they found over 600 images of minors along with drugs, firearms during a search of his apartment. Is he in Epstein's files? I'm just wondering because it sounds like he fits there. Investigators also discovered evidence suggesting he was running prostitution advertisements online while controlling victims through financial and logistic means. Maybe he learned from Dubai. I don't know. The investigation began after an anonymous tip was sent to the university's basketball program. The email reportedly had a subject line that read, "Important message 911, 911." The message warned that Mays was trafficking a woman and demanded the school intervene. Head basketball coach Rod Barnes forwarded the email to Human Resources law enforcement. When police began digging into the situation, they located a victim driving a rental car registered to Mays and staying at a hotel he paid for. It. That's gross. That's really kind of gross. I don't know, something about a hotel and rental cars, and that all sounds gross. They also found online escort advertisement connected to the operation. I'm serious. This guy might be in them files. During a search of his apartment, officers discovered force multipliers, large quantities of, intended for distribution. So he has several. He's a conglomerate. That's wonderful. Not really. Bakersfield police were probably devastated by this shit going on under their noses, but say cases like this often remain hidden because traffickers operate in plain sight, like the orangutan in the White House. This motherfucker is always in our fucking face, and he is, in my opinion, you already know. Anyways, this motherfucker is definitely not kinfolk. I can safely say that.
That shit is gross.
And by the way, Joker, did you finally see the FBA Exodus? I re-edited and reposted it. Did you see it? Please tell me you did. Because, girl, that shit wouldn't leave me alone until I made that. Let's see. Authorities now believe there may be multiple victims and the investigation is still ongoing. They say sometimes holding positions in respected professions that help them avoid suspicion. Like maybe president? Whoo! Mays has pled guilty to the charge and is currently awaiting further court proceedings. He should be sitting right next to that damn orangutan. The case also led to leadership changes at the university basketball program, with both the head coach and athletic director leaving their positions after the investigation. And once again, it raises an uncomfortable reality. Human trafficking is not just something that happens overseas or in movies, but definitely probably in our government system, it seems. It often happens right inside American cities, sometimes connected to people who appear perfectly respectful, on the surface, or those who really have a fucked up thing. Would you please watch that thing and tell me if you like it or not? Because, I don't want to make this a series if it's not worth it. Moving on. That dang Joker. This one, nah, I already talked about this one. I told you this is a struggle. I like this one just because of the picture. I reported this because of just the picture. Personally, you can get mad at me if you want, but damn it, it's helping me a hell of a lot. Supreme Court, what did it say? Supreme Court reviews federal. I made sure that everybody saw the news thing. I didn't just put this picture up here just to fuck with people, because TikTok already don't like me. So yeah. Supreme Court reviews federal restrictions on, users who own force multipliers. This might be a sad story for me, but I just like the picture. I really just like the picture. Now, this next story moves us into the legal arena, where the Supreme Court is currently wrestling with a question that could affect millions of Americans. The case centers on Ali Daniel Himani, a Texas man who was charged with illegally possessing a firearm. But the reason he was charged wasn't because he used the force multiplier in a crime. It was because he admitted he occasionally uses the Mary Jane. Federal law currently bans people from owning firearms if they are considered an unlawful user of controlled substances. Well, I have a card. Does that mean I can have one? And since marijuana, MJ remains illegal under federal law, even in states where it's legalized, that technically includes cannabis users. During a search of Haimani's home in 2022, the FBI found a Glock, you know what that is, and 60 grams of MJ and a small amount of the white stuff. But prosecutors never charged him with that kind of trafficking or terrorism, despite earlier suspicions about possible foreign connections. Instead, they charged him with one single offense, possessing a firearm while being an MJ user. Lower courts dismissed the case, saying the law may violate the Second Amendment, and now the Supreme Court is reviewing it. This got to the Supreme Court, all the bullshit we've been going through last year, and this got to the Supreme Court? What the fuck? All right, anyways. During oral arguments, several justices questioned how broadly the government should be able to restrict force multiplier ownership based on drug use. I used to be against force multipliers all over the place, but ever since this shit went down, don't tread on me or whatever. Let's see here now. Justice Neil Gorsuch, that's what it looks like, Gorsuch, asked how the government even defines an unlawful user. Would someone who uses MJ occasionally lose their rights permanently? Justice Amy Coney Barrett also questioned whether simply using MJ automatically makes someone dangerous. No, it actually kind of de-escalates a lot of danger. Some legal experts say the case could impact millions of Americans, especially in states where cannabis is legal under state law but still illegal federally. I'm starting to hate the federal government, me. Anyways, others warned that weakening the rule could complicate background checks and public safety regulations. The court's final decision could shape how force multiplier laws interact with the rapidly changing landscape of cannabis legalization across the United States. So while this case focuses on one man in Texas, the outcome could affect gun policy, I can't keep doing that, nationwide. Good grief. We're just gonna keep moving because this shit is a goddamn clusterfuck for me. I'm trying my damnedest to find out where the hell I am. I got so many damn things moving around here. I'm not trying to edit that. Go back. Ooh, it's a pain. Moving on. So now Julianne Malvo. I told you I had to learn that shit. I had to wait for somebody to say someone's name. So once again, if you ever see an E and an A and a U and an X, that's a O sound. I don't know how to explain it to you, but that's a O sound. Anyways, Julianne Malvo from Reconstruction to the SAVE Act. I don't know about y'all. I ain't really scared about the SAVE Act, me personally, because my mother has always made sure that I always have my fucking papers. My birth certificate is over in the right corner of my bed. I know exactly where it is in a folder with my damn graduation diploma. Don't play with me. I have all my shit and I'm not married. So they can't stop my ass. And I have time. Anyways, let's talk about something deeper for a minute because this story connects American history to what's happening right now in politics. Frederick Douglass, one of the greatest abolitionists, not saying that again, abolitionists, there it goes, and thinkers this country has ever produced, didn't actually know the exact day he was born. That's because Douglass was born into slavery. What does this have to do? Okay, yeah. I guess they talking about it's still that, but they just switched it from her to him. I don't get it. But anyways, back then enslaved people. Oh yeah, Reconstruction. He was born around Reconstruction. Okay. Back then enslaved people weren't treated like human beings whose lives mattered enough to document. Birthdays weren't recorded, families were separated, identities were written down in property ledgers instead of public records. So Douglas chose his own birthday. He picked February 14th. Sir, if you actually researched that shit, you probably wouldn't have picked it. Anyways, that decision might seem small, but it was actually powerful. It was a man claiming ownership over his identity in a society that had spent years denying he even had one. Douglas understood something that still applies today. Identity isn't only about paperwork, it's about voice, presence, and participation in society. And that idea is at the center of a modern political debate happening right now. Y'all gonna shoot your foot to you shoot the foot to what would they say? To I don't know, to piss off something. To piss off your hand? I don't know. To ire your hand. I really don't know. I wish somebody would tell me. Anyways, I know. Shoot your foot to spite your eye or something. And anyways, Douglas understood something. I already said that. A proposed federal law called the SAVE Act would require Americans to show documentary proof of citizenship, like a passport or birth certificate, in order to register to vote in federal elections. Supporters say the law is about protecting elections, but critics say it could make voting harder for millions of legitimate citizens. And if you know American history, that concern makes sense. Yeah, it really does. Because paperwork has often been used as political weapons. After Reconstruction, when newly freed Black Americans began voting and winning elections, new administrative rules, quote unquote, suddenly appeared. Literacy tests, poll taxes, grandfather clauses, all presented as technical requirements, but designed to shrink the electorate. The tactics changed over time, but the question stayed the same. Who gets to participate in democracy? I still don't understand how we did fucking borders. Real talk. Like, who made the land? You didn't? Anyways, documentation requirements can disproportionately affect people who don't have easy access to official records. That includes seniors born at home during the Jim Crow era, low-income Americans without passports, and women whose names changed after marriage. My mom's divorced. And here's the part that often gets overlooked. Actual cases of non-citizen voting in the U.S. elections are extremely rare. Shit, at this point, you probably scared about every freaking Hispanic to not vote in certain cities. Anyway, so the debate isn't really about widespread fraud. It's about access. Frederick Douglass understood that democracy only works when people can participate in it. When the system starts deciding who counts and who doesn't, the foundation of democracy starts shifting. And that's why debates about voting rules are never just about paperwork, they're about power. And I just don't understand, because seriously, I've been put into powerful positions and all I had was stress. It just gave me a fucking headache. You mean I'm responsible for their fuck ups? Oh, hell no. I don't want that. I do not want that kind of power. You can keep that damn power to yourself. Because the last thing I want to do is have to deal with someone telling me what I fucked up on. I'm just saying. Moving on, because like I said, wait a minute, let me see what this story is. Okay, yeah, we about to go ahead and get into, let me bring this down. We're gonna go ahead and get into playing games, because this next one just explains all the bullshit we done dealt with, and it's only the third month. It really is. There's 12 fucking months. It's only the third one. I don't understand how that's even possible. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and set it up. I check it out.
I don't want the second, I want this. I'm all in my ex way, I'm a wreck. I've been moving like a hot mess.
That is. All right, 13 reasons why 2026 is a hot mess. Yeah, you see who's in the White House. Big ass, ugly ass, naked ass orangutan. Orangutan? Orangutan. I don't know. Now let's zoom out for a second, because the global news cycle right now feels like somebody shook a snow globe full of chaos. Geopolitical tensions are rising across multiple regions, and oh Lord, here we go again. Yeah, let me start that over. As I was saying, 13 reasons why 2026 is already a hot mess. Oh Lord, because we have a fucking bald-headed, ugly ass, naked ass, stupid ass orangutan. But anyways, now let's zoom out for a second, because the global news cycle right now feels like somebody shook a snow globe full of chaos. Geopolitical tensions are rising across multiple regions, and the United States is involved in several escalating conflicts. Let's see here now. Reports indicate that the U.S. military forces working alongside Israel have launched strikes targeting Iranian military infrastructures connected to Tehran's nuclear program. I just want to know, how the hell are people going to dictate what other countries do with their shit? I never understood that. I never understood why we have that fucking kind of power. What's so special about this fucking country that it gets to do all this shit to other countries? Do you realize that all these other countries have to do is just turn on us and that's over? It's done. It's done. Shit, most of the people here don't even have... Oh, fuck. I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, these operations reportedly hit thousands of targets and dozens of naval assets. Meanwhile, tensions are also rising in Venezuela. U.S. forces have intercepted sanctioned oil shipments and seized tankers tied to Venezuelan governments. In other words, they stealing this damn oil, escalating the already complicated relationship between Washington and Caracas. On top of that, the U.S. Justice Department, if you want to call it that, continues pursuing long-standing drug trafficking investigations involving members of the Venezuelan government. So internationally, the temperature is rising. But back at home, the headlines are just as intense. Student loan borrowers could soon face major financial pressure again if legal challenges dismantle parts of the Save repayment program created under the Biden administration. At the same time, newly released Jeffrey Epstein documents have reignited public outrage online. What do you mean reignited? The shit has never gone away. You motherfuckers just think it's gone away. Everybody is still talking about this shit. And everybody knows you motherfuckers are trying to distract us. Okay? It's not like, oh, look, a rock. No, we don't do that. This is not that damn crazy ass dog that just boom, stick. No. Anyways. The files contain names, allegations, and connections involving powerful people that many Americans believe were hidden for years. Well, let us know. Shit. Every time those documents resurface, people start asking the same question. Who knew what, and why did it take so damn long to come out? I added damn. Meanwhile, another massive shift is quietly happening in the background. AI. Automation is already replacing certain jobs, especially in fields involving customer service, data processing, and even transportation. I don't know about that customer service because that should be pissing me off when I realize I'm on the phone with a robot. Fuck you, robot. Anyways, chatbots are replacing call center positions. Self-driving technology is slowly entering logistics and delivery services. I do not want a robot coming to my house. I'm sorry, I really don't. And millions of workers are wondering whether the careers they train for will still exist 10 years from now. Probably not. 10 years from now, we'll probably be in the Matrix. We'll probably be batteries. Real talk. I'm moving. But in the middle of all this war, tensions, economic anxiety, Lord knows I got it, technological disruption, something strange is happening socially. A lot of people are simply scrolling past it. The internet moves so fast now that even the major global developments gets buried in memes, celebrity gossip, and viral clips. It's like society is experiencing constant crisis, but half the population is watching it like it's another episode of it. Feels that way. It feels like we're on a reality show. So please, can we turn the TV off? And that disconnect might be one of the most dangerous trends of all. Oh Lord Jesus. This next one, I'm serious. It's a real story. I don't know how this is possible, but it's real and I'm very disturbed by it. I don't know why the hell he thought this was good. Eric Adams believes this two-time Oscar winner should play him in a movie. So you want Denzel to play another criminal? Really? Why do you need a story? Are you involved in the Epstein files? Is that it? Are they going to make a movie of this shit? Because please get it right. This is just horrible. I have never experienced such irritation. It's like, there's the goddamn proof. Just fucking accuse the bastard. He's got nothing on you. He's ugly as hell. He's grimy as hell. He's fucking, I bet he's greasy too. Ew. I feel like some places on that orangutan are greasy. But let's talk about this. Former New York City Mayor Eric Adams is adjusting to life outside the city hall. You should be surprised you're not arrested. And apparently he's already thinking about the movie version of his life. Who the hell wants to hear more about you? Oh, Lord have mercy. While speaking to reporters at LAX, I don't know why they're interested in him still, Adams joked that if Hollywood ever made a film about him, he already has the perfect actor in mind. Denzel Washington. You need your ass whooped. That ain't even funny. Now listen, Denzel is one of the greatest actors alive, but that's a pretty ambitious casting request. Adams says he's not actually planning to go into entertainment himself. According to him, he's had enough time in the public spotlight already. And I think we have had enough of you too. I have never even been to New York and I'm sick of you. Anyways, trying to go there for my birthday. Instead, he's moving into what a lot of former politicians do after leaving office. Consulting and advising. Please don't. Please don't. Nobody needs your advice. Look what it did for you. Adams says he's now working with companies and city governments, helping them modernize systems and apply lessons from his time running the largest city in the country. I just want to know, literally, just really, literally, sir, do you think you did a good job? And do you know about technology for real? What year were you born? You're not aging well, sir. That is what I'm trying to say here. Anyways, this guy's an idiot. The new role has already turned him into a frequent traveler. That's what got you in trouble the first fucking time. In fact, Adams says he spent much of the last months outside of New York to the relief of people while meeting with organizations interested in his advice. Even though he's out of office, he says his personal routine hasn't changed. No one cares. He still wakes up early, meditates, practices breathing exercises, and starts his day with a green smoothie. Thank you for sharing too much. So basically, the wellness routine is intact. Adams also offered a little advice for the new... No, don't give him no advice either. His message, idealism is nice, but governing is reality. But you didn't do that. It was the idealism, sir. According to the people, they couldn't stand your ass. According to Adams, people who enter politics quickly discover that the theory of government and the actual mechanics of government are two very different things. Are you talking about the orangutan or you? And when it comes to international issues like tension in the Middle East, Adams warned against underestimating threats from countries like Iran. I think all of us know that. So should we all be advisors? Whether a Hollywood movie about Eric Adams ever happens, I hope it doesn't, is still an open question. But if it does, he already knows who he wants playing the role. I hope he reneges on that and you have to get someone else. How about LL if he doesn't? I don't know. You're just very irritating. Now let's talk about another topic people really don't like right now. The military. Is the military too big and proud to fail? I don't know. But I know whoever the fuck is actually leading this shit, they don't know where the fuck they're going. It's the blind leading the blind at this point. Let's talk about power for a minute, because this story raises questions about leadership, humility, and how nations talk about war. Some political leaders love to emphasize military strength. You've heard the speeches, our military is the greatest in the world. No one can challenge us. We will destroy our enemies. Why do we have enemies? Because you made them. But critics warn that this type of rhetoric can become dangerous when pride replaces strategy. Some commentators have compared this attitude to the biblical story of David and Goliath, reminding people that history is full of powerful nations that believed they were unbeatable right before things fell apart. I think we're about to fall apart, and we can't stop it because the idiot in control seems to fucking not have a navigator. He has no fucking equilibrium. He thinks up is down. I don't know. Anyways, that's even an old proverb that says pride goes before destruction. We got a lot of pride, and I don't know why they're proud, but they're proud. And that warning has been used recently to critique political leaders who boast about military action without fully explaining the long-term plan. Critics argue that some military operations, particularly those involving Iran, have been announced with dramatic language but without clear explanations of what comes next. That raises a serious question. Is the focus on strength actually about national security? Or is it about political messaging? Some analysts believe certain military actions could also serve as distraction from domestic controversies, especially when investigation or scandals dominate the news cycle. Like this idiot. I mean, seriously, he shot his foot. Woo. And that's where the concern grows, because when governments rely on display of force without transparency or congressional debate, it shifts power away from democratic oversight. Even some religious leaders have weighed in, arguing that strength without wisdom can lead nations into unnecessary conflict. Just say it plain language. The dumbass is getting us into trouble. Let's see. They point to biblical examples where leaders relied too heavily on military might instead of humility or careful decision making. Because you got a jackass in there as well, supposed to be a secretary of war. He's doing that very well, I guess. The broader lesson: power alone does not guarantee stability. History has shown again and again that the most dangerous leaders are often the ones who believe they cannot fail. And this motherfucker right here, Jesus. Seriously, that motherfucker there. Moving on, at least this one will piss him off, I hope. This next story here, yeah. Federal appeals courts sides with ruling that blocked Trump from ending TPS for Haitians. Hopefully they're not talking shit about Americans still, black Americans, because I've seen that shit and I'm like, come on now. Come on now. We don't need that when this shit is going on. A federal appeals court has temporarily blocked efforts to remove temporary protected status, also known as TPS, from Haitian immigrants. TPS allows people from countries facing extreme crisis, war, disaster, or political collapse, like this motherfucker is making, to legally live and work in the United States for a limited period of time. Haiti was first granted TPS after the devastating 2010 earthquake, which unalived more than 220,000 people and destroyed much of the country's infrastructure. Is anybody helping them? Seriously. Since then, the program has been extended multiple times because Haiti has continued facing severe instability, our fault, including natural disasters, gang violence, and the assassination of President Jovenel Moise in 2021. They ain't fixed that shit since. Today, 350,000 Haitians in the United States rely on TPS protections, but the federal government recently attempted to end that status. Attempted, that's the great word about that. A judge in Washington, D.C., Anna Reyes, oh yeah, you know she's gonna block it. I'm just being stupid saying that, but still. Blocked the move last month, arguing the government had failed to justify why protections should be removed because they're assholes. And now an appeals court has backed her decision in a 2-1 ruling. Who the hell was the one? Asshole. Saying the government did not show it would suffer serious harm by keeping TPS in place while the legal fight continues. The ruling means Haitian families will be able to remain and work in the United States, at least for now, so you can kind of shake those crazy-ass goons off of your back. But the case is far from over. The administration is expected to appeal, of course they do, because they don't know how to lose gracefully, to the Supreme Court, which could ultimately determine whether TPS protection stays in place or disappears. The debate has been fueled by controversial political rhetoric surrounding Haitian immigrants. Maybe now we'll stop hiring fucking Methuselah old ass motherfuckers that apparently still have the same mindset. Past statements describing Haitians with insulting language have drawn heavy criticism and raised concern about whether immigration policies are being shaped by bias rather than humanitarian need. For the hundreds of thousands of Haitian families currently protected under TPS, the legal battle is not abstract. It determines whether they can continue building their lives in the United States or face the possibility of being sent back to a country still struggling with instability. Well, shit, you see, they don't give a damn about their own damn people, so you know they don't give a shit about you. But let's go to this next story because it's my second one that I wouldn't mind getting a ectomy of. Fucking Texas. Here you go. White woman charged after video shows assault on black girl. Oh, shit. Now, this is a story that comes out of Frisco, Texas, where a white woman is now facing assault charges after allegedly attacking a 13-year-old girl at a park near school. What the fuck is wrong with you? The bitch is loony. You can't let a child play? That's a child, you know? That's a teenager, but a teenager is still a child, you ignorant bastard. And let me just say this clearly. If you are a grown woman putting hands on somebody else's child, because I keep telling y'all, keep your damn hands to yourself, especially a child half your size, you already are dead wrong before the excuses even start. The incident was caught on video and shared by the teen's mother, Crystal Randolph, and once people saw it, the reaction was immediate. According to Randolph, the whole situation started because the woman's 8-year-old son allegedly used profanity and even threatened to pew-pew her daughter. Where did that kid learn that language, huh? Woo! Wait, where is it? God dang it. Just saying. Let's see here now. Now pause right there. That alone should have been the moment for the parent to step in and correct her child and get him together. But instead, according to Randolph, the mother chose to confront the black girl because apparently in this upside down version of parenting, the child making threats gets a pass, while the black child who speaks up gets treated like the problem. In the video, the teen can be heard telling the woman, "Watch your child." And honestly, she shouldn't have even had to say that. Moments later, the woman walks up saying something along the lines of, "Girlfriend, back up. You want to bring it?" before physically pushing and grabbing the teen. Why are you talking to her like that? A grown woman putting hands on a 13-year-old. And after that, the girl is heard calling her mother and saying, "Hi, mama, there is a woman over here who just put hands on me." That line alone is enough to make your blood boil because you can hear how young she is. Now, after the video started spreading, Randolph initially believed the woman had been arrested, but later clarified that the woman was charged with assault and is expected to appear before a judge. She should be in jail. She really should. Randolph also says an officer told her the charge could possibly be enhanced because the victim is a minor. What do you mean, possibly? And the incident happened near a school, though that part has not yet been publicly confirmed by police. What has been confirmed in the video, and the video is ugly enough on its own, this story is hitting a nerve because too many black parents know exactly what it feels like to watch a grown adult feel bold enough to criminalize, confront, or physically touch black children like they have some kind of right. No, ma'am, you do not. Parent your own child. Keep your hands to yourself and stop acting shocked when videos turn your little lie into a public performance view because it's ridiculous. It really is. And I'm gonna tell you, I just saw a video of a little boy, I think he was 8 years old, standing behind a podium telling people he would like to be a child a little longer. He was either that or 13. I don't know, but he was basically saying that this fucker at his school got to mistreat him and he got expelled. How the fuck? Man, y'all better leave our children the fuck alone. They don't need to grow up fast. They just need to grow up properly. Jackasses. Anyways, moving on because this one was petty and I love it. God damn, I don't know where my buttons are anymore. Shit. There you go. Former President Obama will welcome former President Bush, that still looks like a chimpanzee if you ask me, not Drumpf, to Obama's presidential center ceremonies per report. Well, shit, that bastard couldn't even let Jesse Jackson be honored in the... Ooh. Anyways, now let's move to something a little brighter and a little pettier in the most elegant way possible. The Obama Presidential Center is officially set to open in Chicago this June, with events scheduled from June 18th through June 21st. Is that around the Taste? I really want to go to Chicago's Taste. And the public opening happening on June 19th, yes, Juneteenth, which already tells you this opening is about history, his symbolism, and black legacy on purpose. There ain't no way Trump is going to go to that shit. And one detail has people talking. Former President George W. Bush, who really fucked us over still, has reportedly been invited, but Donald Trump was not. And honestly, good. Every event does not require a chaos consultant, a lie machine, and a human lawsuit in a cheap suit wandering around pretending he built civilization, because he did not. We would be a hot mess if he did. A hot ass mess. A ham. Sometimes people want peace, dignity, and a ceremony that doesn't smell like ego, indictments, and diapers. I added that. Now people beyond that, very satisfying detail, the center itself is deeply meaningful. President Obama shared that the museum will feature the words, "You are America." That line comes from his speech in Selma during the 50th anniversary of the march across Edmund Pettus Bridge. And that message matters because it speaks directly to people who have too often been treated like they are outside the American story, when in reality they are central to it. Michelle Obama has also spoke about why Chicago was the place this really made sense. is the only place that really made sense. She says Chicago will always be home. It's where she and her brother Craig grew up. It's where she and Barack met, but built a life and became who the world came to know. And she made it clear that placing the center in Jackson Park on the south side was intentional. This wasn't about dropping a monument somewhere shiny for tourists to clap at and leave. It was also about giving something back to the community that shaped them. Michelle described the center as a tribute to the city and its people, and as a launch pad for the next generation of young leaders. That part right there is what makes it bigger than a presidential library. It's not just about preserving the past, it's about investing in the future. And for Black folks especially, there's something powerful about a major institution rooted in our story, our neighborhood, our excellence, and our possibilities. So yes, let the center open, let the history be honored, let the young people be inspired, and let the uninvited stay at home mad. I know he ain't gonna be mad because he's stupid as hell. He's stupid as hell. He gonna try to flip that shit. He gonna try to flip it and make it about him because it's him, the Antichrist, if you ask me. This next one I had to do as well because I am so in the mood for pettiness, for the bullshit. Check this next story out. We bombed Iran. Black folks are asking, who is we? I know damn well I didn't bomb nobody. I was minding my own damn business, doing my own damn thing. Y'all motherfuckers did that shit, not me. I didn't even vote for this shit. Now, we've been asking this for generations. When Americans say we, who exactly is it that included in that we? Because for Black people in this country, that word has always come with a fine print. The writer of this piece, speaking as a Black woman, points out that Black Americans are constantly told we when the country needs something. We need your labor. We need your culture. We need your vote. We need your service. We need your sacrifice. You ain't getting none of that shit. But somehow, when it's time for safety, respect, equal treatment, or actual benefits, suddenly we gets real selective. That tension connects to W.E.B. Du Bois' idea of the double consciousness, the reality of, give me a second here. All right, the reality of being a Black American. Hold on. Okay, you just want to fuck with me today. All right, we're going to fuck with me. All right, give me a second. All right, we're going to leave it here. Bitch. Hold on. Okay. The reality of being a Black American, constantly having to see yourself through your own eyes and through the eyes of a country that often does not value you the same as it uses you. And history backs that up. Black people were written into the national early political structure as 3/5 of a person. Black contributions in war have been minimized or erased only after it has already survived disrespect, exclusion, or theft. And even now, Black excellence is often celebrated only after it has already survived this. I already said that. Let's see, Black contribution in wars that have been minimized or erased from what children are taught in school. The piece also reminds us that Black Americans have never been absent when this country goes to war, even if we don't agree with it. We are only around 13 to 14% of the U.S. population, yet we make up a far larger share of military service. Black families have served in every major war, American war. Many joined for education, opportunity, stability, or simply a chance to escape poverty. They wore the uniform, risked their lives, and defended a country that still often turned around and treated them like outsiders. That's the part of America. That's the part America loves to skip. Because after Black veterans came home from war, many did not return to gratitude and equal opportunity. They returned to segregation, to redlining, to house discrimination, to second-class treatment under the very flag they defended. White veterans were often able to use the GI Bill to build wealth and stability. These bitches didn't even tell me I had it until 5 years after it freaking expired. Many Black veterans were blocked from the same full access through racist policies and racist systems. So yes, people have a right to question this magical nation, we. because too often people are included when black people are included when something must be given, but excluded when something should be received, like our reparations. And no more fucking, we'll look into this. Because y'all look into this, all this research. Damn it. Stop playing in my face, please. Anyways, and that's why more and more black folks are emotionally checking out of this fake patriotic group's project. Not because we don't understand the country, because we understand it too well. And we sick of this shit. Damn it. You can't keep fucking messing with someone unless they are batshit crazy. I don't think this is petty. I like it. I don't know where it belongs, so I'm gonna keep it in this area because the next part is education. So I'm gonna keep it where it is. All right, y'all. You see this? Gremlin State secures the trademark for the iconic G logo after near 30-year legal battle. So no G units, no fucking G. I don't know who the hell had it. Who had it? And if they did, they're a dirty ass bastard. Anyways, I love a story where black institutions protect legacy instead of letting people play in our face. Grambling State University has officially secured federal trademark registration for its iconic G logo, ending a legal fight that has been dragging on since 1998. That's right, this has been a decades-long battle. The university announced that the logo is now officially registered under the U.S. trademark registration number 8148992, which gives Grambling stronger legal control over one of its most recognizable symbols. And that matters because in college athletics, branding is money, branding is identity, and branding is power. If you don't own your image, somebody else will profit from it, misuse it, or water it down. Gremlin's G has represented school pride, athletic excellence, and the larger Graham fam legacy. I didn't name it that. For generations, going all the way back to the era of legendary football coach Eddie Robinson. I think I might have gone to school with some of his relatives. There's a lot of Robinsons that were at my school. This wasn't some random letter on a helmet. This is history. The issue, of course, was the logo was considered similar in some ways to marks used by institutions like the Green Bay Packers, bitches, and the Georgia Bulldogs. Ugh. So Grambling had to go through a long, detailed process to prove its mark and had its own distinct identity and iconic meaning. University leaders said the process required patience, precision, and strategic partnership. And in the end, they got it done. Vice President Pena Moses said the registration will help Grambling protect the logo, expand licensing opportunities, and manage the brand with integrity. In plain English, now Grambling has even more power to decide who gets to use that logo, where it appears, and what kind of deals reflect the school's standards. President Dr. Martin Lamel Jr. called the landmark more than a legal win. He said it is a declaration of ownership over Grambling's history, excellence, and brand. And he's right, because for black institutions, ownership matters. Too much of our labor, style, music, language, culture, and innovation has been copied, stolen, repackaged, and sold back to the world without proper credit. So anytime an HBCU locks down its legacy and protects its assets, I'm here for it. That G belongs to Grambling, period. Anything else? Nah, that's it for that story. All right, we're going to bring that down. And give me a second. We're going to bring that down. And we're going to go ahead and get into some education. So before I do that, you know what I'm about to do. I'm about to, promote this thing, this black-owned company. It's a small one, but still, it's black-owned. We need to support it if we are interested in it. You can find her on Twitch, Instagram, and Threads. Check her out, and I'll be right back. I told y'all it's a struggle. Before I start the next thing, I'm gonna do my commercial. But that was CBD Honey Lips. Ooh, I dropped my lighter. CBD Honey Lips. If you're interested in CBD, if you're interested in your lips popping, mine keep chaffing for some reason. I'm in a too cold damn place. But anyways, if you're all interested in that, go check her out. Once again, she is CBD Honey Lips on Twitch, Instagram, and Threads. That's what you're looking for. Now, here goes my commercial. I'll be right back, and then we're going to do the education opener, and then we're going to learn some shit.
It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the. It's just me and the fam. Yeah, yeah. It's just me and the fam. See my little Tay-Tay, that's my hype girl, that's my mascot. No one's go for hours and some hours till we pass out. Stay inside the house, turned up with them racks out. Stay inside the house, turn.
I think I need some more vitamin D. I don't think I have enough. Okay, I didn't bring it up. Here goes the education one. I wasn't even supposed to talk. Shit. All right, hold on. Give me a second. Sorry. I've been adding and moving shit around so much. Here you go.
Yo, there's so many, hey, there's so many, yo, so many, yo, there's so many lies. Look in my eyes, they know I'm the truth. Knocking them down every time I step in the booth. We ain't got a lie, they know we the vibe, we living in proof. Young conscious, shoot my life a movie, I live in a spoof. Ain't no sticking around, I'm on the move, I'm checking the dudes. Yeah, it's only us two, so you know we cool. We on the roof, smoking dope, look at the view. Yeah, the church dope, now we out here in
The lag is so serious. The lag is so serious. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say right now. That lag is ridiculous. Oh, hey Momo, how you doing? I'm doing all right. I'm back in school. How you doing? I'm about to do my educational part. Let's see here now. Jimmy Lee Jackson. Jimmy Lee was my uncle's name. Lord have mercy. The heartbreaking death that sparked Bloody Sunday. As this country marks another anniversary of the Selma marches, a lot of people will mention Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and John Lewis, and they should. But one name that also deserves to be spoken with reverence is Jimmy Lee Jackson. See, my uncle's name is Jimmy Lee, but it's not the last name, not the same last name. I wonder if my grandma knew about that. She probably did. Because his death helped ignite one of the most important turning points. Is it even spelled this? It's spelled the same too. Anyways, turning points in the civil rights movement. Jimmy Lee Jackson was born in Marion, Alabama in 1938. He later spent some time in Indiana, but after his father died, he returned home to support his family by working as a logger and farmer. He got involved in the movement after meeting organizer Albert Turner, who encouraged Black people in the area to register to vote. And what pushed Jackson even deeper is the struggle was watching his own into the struggle was watching his own family be humiliated while they were trying to exercise rights they were supposed to have. It's always like that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've got things I'm working on. Hopefully, I'm on my pregnancy thing again. So there we go. Anyways, where was I? Okay. Here we go. His elderly grandfather and his mother were both denied voter registration. That kind of disrespect leaves a mark. In February 1965, a respected organizer named Reverend George Orange was arrested in Marion, which sparked a peaceful protest. Jackson joined the protest along with his sister, mother, and his elderly grandfather. What happened next was terror. Under segregationist Governor George Wallace, Alabama state troopers confronted demonstrators. As people attempted to disperse, the street lights went out, then the beatings began. Troops chased and assaulted marchers in the dark. Jackson and his family tried to take cover in a cafe, but police followed them inside. According to accounts of that night, officers attacked his family in the cafe kitchen. As Jackson tried to protect his mother from being beaten, Trooper James Bonner Fowler pew-pewed him in the stomach, dirty bastard, twice. Let's see here now. Jackson was beaten further after the pew pew, and it took 2 hours before he was properly taken to a hospital. He died 8 days later. Dr. King later delivered his eulogy and made a powerful point. The focus should not only be on the man who pulled the trigger, but on the system that created him and protected him. And that is the part Americans still struggle to confront, because Jackson's death wasn't some isolated tragedy. It was a part of his system of organized racial violence meant to suppress political participation. His murder became a catalyst for the Selma to Montgomery marches, including the infamous Bloody Sunday assault on marchers at the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Fowler did not admit responsibility until 2005. He later pleaded guilty to second-degree manslaughter in 2010 and served 6 months in jail. Really? All of that for the murder? Ooh-wee. 6 months for taking a life that helped change the course of American history. So when people remember Selma, they need to remember Jimmy Lee Jackson too, because freedom movements aren't built on the names the textbooks still don't say loud enough. They are built on the names textbooks don't say loud enough. And you know I've already said how I'm going to be with my kids. I'm going for the whole, just like my mama. I learned Black history at home, even at my grandma's house, and she was half white. Her ass right there was teaching me shit too. She's the one that told me I had to work 3 times as hard. But anyways, let's check this next history story out. I'm telling you, we on it. I'm not sure if it's yes, it's still in that same thing. I told you, like I said, it's a struggle right here. All right, here's everything you need to know about Bloody Sunday. When people talk about Bloody Sunday, they often frame it like some sad old history lesson that lives safely in the past. But Selma is not just history. Selma is a warning. Back on March 7, 1965, hundreds of Black marchers and allies crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama, demanding voting rights. They were met by billy clubs, tear gas, mounted troopers, and the full, ugly face of state violence. And the deeper truth is this: the march was never only about ballots. It was about power. I told y'all that much. It was about what happens when Black people challenge a system that benefits from keeping us controlled, unrepresented, and disposable. The marchers were also protesting the unaliving of Jimmy Lee Jackson, a Black man pew-pewed by an Alabama state trooper while trying to protect his mother during a demonstration. His death made clear what America has shown us again and again. When democracy starts threatening entrenched power, the state often answers with force. And that is exactly why Selma still feels current, because that machinery never really disappeared. The article draws a straight line from Selma to the most recent police violence and militarized crackdowns we've watched unfold in cities like Minneapolis, New York, Baltimore, and Atlanta. From Eric Garner to Freddie Gray to George Floyd, let's not forget Keith Porter, the pattern stays familiar. Black people demand dignity. The state escalates. And let's be honest, authoritarianism does not always show up wearing a giant sign that says dictatorship incoming, but damn it if this one didn't. And let's be honest, authoritarianism, I already said that, sometimes it arrives through surveillance, over-policing, selective prosecution, militarized raids, and treating protests like a crime instead of a constitutional right. That is how repression gets normalized. The article also reminds us that once these systems get moving, they do not only hit Black people, they expand outward. In Selma, white minister Reverend James Reeb was beaten to death for standing in solidarity with Black Southerners. That's fucked up. You do it to your own folk. Because oppression does not stop at its first target. It keeps going. That's why Selma still matters. Not just a memorial, but as an institution, instruction manual. Hold on, give me a second here. It teaches that resistance has to be organized. Coalitions matter. Lawyers matter. Faith leaders matter. Mutual aid matters. Strategy matters. Selma was not won through vibes and inspirational quotes. It was won because ordinary people risked everything and built structures strong enough to force change. So the real question now is the same one it was then. When the bridge is in front of us, are enough people willing to cross it together? I told you before, let's get into some damn good trouble. Ain't nothing wrong with good trouble. I ain't got a problem with it. The next story is basically kind of a current one, a current history thing, but we ain't gonna forget it. So let's check it out. All right, Trayvon Martin and other black people who were unjustly unalived in America. It has been more than 14 years since Trayvon Martin was killed, and America is still carrying the pain like a scar that never really closed. Trayvon was only, I still think he was younger. They say 17. I could have sworn he was younger. I need to go look that up. He didn't even look like a 17-year-old. The boy looked 14, if you ask me. I need to see it. They keep saying 17. I don't always agree with it. Hold on. How old? Wow, he was 17. That boy had a baby face. Anyways, he was still a child. And yet his death became one of those moments that told black people once again exactly where this country still stands when our children are the ones bleeding. His killing and the acquittal of George Zimmerman, who actually is very mediocre. He hasn't done very much for his community, I don't think. Helped ignite a movement because people understood immediately that this was bigger than one case. Trayvon Martin represented every black child whose innocence gets denied on sight. Every black teenager treated like a threat before being treated like a human being. And what makes this story so devastating is that Trayvon was not the end of anything. He was one name in a long and painful roll call that kept growing. This piece honors many of those names because this shit is ridiculous and I hate that it's still fucking normalized. Sandra Bland pulled over and later found dead in a jail cell. Walter Scott shot in back while fleeing. Why would you? Philando Castile killed after calmly telling an officer he legally had a firearm. Tamir Rice, only 12 years old, shot within seconds while holding a toy gun. A toy, you jackass. And the jackass that called on him too, fucker. You didn't hear no damn real bullets. Freddie Gray, who died from injuries sustained in police custody. Tatiana Jefferson, killed in her own home. Ahmaud Arbery, chased down and murdered while jogging. Eric Gardner, whose final words, "I can't breathe," became a cry heard around the world. And that is still not the full list. That is what wears black people down. Not just the violence itself, but the repetition of it. And that is the meaning of fucking black fatigue, you dumbasses. It can only be by us. We are black. We are tired. Black fatigue, jackasses. Anyways, not just the violence itself, but the repetition, the predictability of it, the way this country keeps acting shocked every time another black life gets taken under the circumstances that are painfully familiar. Yes, some of these cases led to settlements. It took a long ass time. Yes, a few led to convictions. Very few. But let's stop pretending that a payout is the same thing as justice or that one guilty verdict wipes out a whole culture that still too often treats black death as negotiable. It doesn't. Trayvon Martin wasn't supposed to be a turning point. Instead, hold on, give me a second. Where's my damn script? I read from a script because people said I was boring otherwise. Let me see, where was I? Trayvon Martin was supposed to be a turning point. Instead, he became a symbol of an ongoing emergency. And that's why so many black families remain exhausted, angry, and deeply distrustful of institutions that keep asking for patience while offering very little protection. That the names keep changing, the pattern does not. And until this country deals honestly with that pattern, black grief will keep being recycled into the next headline. And that is disgusting. The fact that that is so. We're going to keep in the line of history though, and this is making new history. It's more recent, and thank God, because we need it. And it's a good news too. So give me a second here. Let me go find my good news, because this has been some deep ass educational, but deep ass shit. I'm just saying, deep. There it goes. Meet Malik Jones, sled hockey player making history at the 2026 Paralympics. There we go. All right, we're going to take a break, and we're going to look at some black excellence, because we deserve stories that don't always come wrapped in trauma. Malik Jones, a forward for Team USA, is competing in the 2026 Winter Paralympics, and he is continuing to make history in a sport where black visibility is still way too rare. Jones is only the second black athlete ever to represent the United States in sled hockey. What the hell is sled hockey? You see my ignorance. And second one, so wow, at the Paralympic Games. And let's be real, winter sports still act like black people magically disappear when snow shows up. I used to like it. I don't like it no more. Anyways, the snow, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see. And so every time one of us enters that space and dominates it, it matters. But Malik Jones is not just there for representation. He's there because he has the skill to be there. Jones already helped Team USA win gold at the 2022 Winter Paralympics in Beijing, where he played an important offensive role on one of the most dominant teams in sport. Now he's back with a chance to help the United States with fifth consecutive Paralympic gold medal in sled hockey. That is dynamic behavior. That is, we brought the trophy case and the receipts energy. Jones has helped Team USA win gold at the 2023 and 2025 World Para Ice Hockey Championship, plus a silver medal in 2024. Let's see, where am I? Okay, so this is not some feel-good side note where people clap politely because he tried. This man is a serious athlete. Jones grew up in Aurora, Colorado. Wow. And was born without a tibia bones in his legs. He underwent double leg amputation when he was just 10 months old. Poor baby. From there, he got involved in adaptive sports, found sled hockey, and rose through the development programs until he earned his place on the national team. I can't read for shit. That's what makes this powerful. It's not a story about pity. It's a story about discipline, opportunity, training, and excellence. And for black kids, especially black disabled kids, seeing somebody like Malik Jones on that level matters because it widens the imagination. It says black greatness does not belong in one lane. It does not only live in basketball, football, rap, or track. It can show up on ice too. And every time it does, another tired little stereotype gets knocked away because these motherfuckers thought we couldn't swim either. I promise you I can fucking swim. But we're still on that good news tip, so let's talk about Wes Moore. The only person over in that area right now in charge that I don't side-eye for now. Wes Moore reflects as he pays tribute to Jesse Jackson, visits Selma for Bloody Sunday anniversary. We can't stop fighting. I still think we should just segregate, but that's just me. Maryland Governor Wes Moore says the current attack on civil rights and voting access is very real, and he is not sugarcoating it. But he is also making something else clear. This is not the time for black folks to get lazy, distracted, or blindsided. It is a time to stay ready. We said rest, not fucking get complacent. Moore, who is currently the only black governor in the country, wish we could change that, and just the third black governor in the U.S. history, that is so fucked up, spoke while preparing to head to Selma for the annual commemoration of Bloody Sunday. And he made it clear that the moment we are living in demands courage, memory, and action. Moore said leaders like Reverend Jesse Jackson helped make his own path possible because Jackson, I think Jesse's better, but Jackson pushed America to imagine black political leadership at a level many people once treated like fantasy. That matters because progress does not just happen because the country wakes up in a good mood one morning. It happens because people push, organize, and demand and force this nation to confront what it has denied. This weekend, Moore is set to participate in the walk across Edmund Pettus Bridge and deliver the keynote address at the NAACP Legal Defense Fund annual Jubilee. I hope it's not raining out there. And then the reason this is so relevant and now is simple. There are active efforts underway to make voting harder again. The proposed SAVE Act would require documentation that many legitimate voters may not easily have access to, which critics say could disproportionately burden Black Americans, low-income people, working families, and married women whose names may not perfectly match across all records. There are also legal fights threatening key protections in the Voting Rights Act, which is exactly why people are sounding the alarm. Moore's point is that none of this should surprise us. He says the assault is real, creative, aggressive, and familiar, and Black folks know a rerun when we see one. Same scam, new paperwork. Moore says the answer is to draw strength from leaders like Jesse Jackson, Martin Luther King, and John Lewis, but I also agree with Malcolm X. And remember that freedom is never something you should just inherit and sit around treating it like a decorative plant. You protect it, you defend it, you stay awake. One of his strongest lines was that while this administration keeps trying to remind people how tough it is, the people need to remind this administration how tough we are. And he's right, because voting rights were never handed over politely. They were fought for, which means they can be fought over again. He ain't lying. That's for damn truth. What the hell? Ooh, how'd that get there? I found. Never mind. You don't want to know. But that's good. Now, we're going to move into something more of like a family thing. Something that you remember, growing up. And I know I did. I even got banned from church at one point for apparently street dancing when I was just a baby. But I was let back in. So I remember a lot of those traditions and stuff. I need to go back. I need to find one. So y'all check this one out. All right, so mean ushers, peppermints, and 15 other blackety black church rules you need to know. Do I have my sound blackety black? Do I have that? I thought I had it. I had a sound that was blackety black, black, black. I need to get it back. I really do. Anyways, now let's lighten it up for a second because one of the most unexpectedly funny moments from Reverend Jesse Jackson's homegoing service tapped directly into a specific Black memory. During the service, one speaker made an observation that had folks laughing because it was so real. He talked about the difference between church ushers on Chicago's South Side and the kind that make you feel like you're being escorted through maximum security with a Bible in your hand. He joked about seeing nice people with peppermints in their pockets, and that line went viral because anybody raised in Black churches already knew exactly what he meant. Listen, the Black church had rules. No written rules, spiritual survivor rules. There was a whole unwritten social contract, and every child learned it fast. First of all, the usher board was not to be played with. Those white gloves were not decoration. Those were the hands of order. One finger point from an usher could redirect a whole family of 6 without a single raised voice. You did not just stroll in during scripture reading like you owned the place. You waited, you watched, you prayed they nodded you through. Then there was the grandmothers with the bottomless peppermint supplies. Some of them had Werthers, you know. Nobody ever saw them buy these mints. There was no store receipt. That's true. No grocery bag, no Costco run, but somehow every church grandma had peppermints, strawberry candies. I love those with the little ooey gooey in the middle. I love that one. Maybe a Werther's, see, I told you, maybe a Werther's original. And a purse heavy enough to survive a flood. That is so, so true. I think it's a passage of life. You eventually just move. You vibrate. You gravitate to those big ass purses. And let us not forget the motherboard. My grandmother was a church mother. Those church mothers who could correct a child with one look. They didn't need to yell. Their face did the work. My grandma, she banned me from church for 3 years. I think I was 6 when I got back in. Then you had all the traditions. The testimony service where everybody started with first giving honor to God, who is the head of my life. And you knew right then this could take 30 seconds or 35 minutes. Ooh, they could stay up there. There was the Easter program where every child got volunteered whether they wanted to or not. The church fans, the long sermon fake outs where you thought the preacher was wrapping up, but then somebody yelled, "Take your time," and you knew your Sunday was over. Every time. And after all that came the real second service, the parking lot goodbye. Church could be over. Man, I used to rush out that bitch. No, I didn't rush out. It wasn't a bitch. I used to rush out that building because I already knew they were going to be talking for a minute. I was going to be blocked. I was going to have to wait. Seriously. And then they all went to the restaurants or they went home because they cooked the day before. Church could be over, but you were still stuck there for another 45 minutes while grown folks kept talking, hugging, circling back. I went when I was a teenager and I could drive. I went alone so I could get the hell out. And you were still stuck there 45 minutes while grown people were hugging, circling back, and discussing half the congregation before they even got in the car. That viral moment hit because it reminded people that Black church wasn't just religion. It was rhythm, it was culture, it was community, it was discipline, side eyes, peppermints, pressed clothes, and potato salad. I didn't have no damn potato salad. What you talking about? There was no potato salad. There was barbecue, but there was no potato salad. There was green beans. Sometimes greens, but there was no potato salad. I don't like potato salad. And honestly, some of us still have church trauma every time we heard a hard bottom shoe click too fast in a quiet room. Man, it was the look. It was the look for me. I always got the damn look. And I thought that was enough. I really did think that was enough for me. I didn't need to have any more than that look. All right, y'all. We about to go ahead and move into business, because I like to keep y'all up and up. And if y'all got the collateral, if y'all got the money, do it. I mean, if I'm giving you tidbits and you can use that shit and you actually understand what the hell I'm saying, because sometimes I don't. I just read the damn script. Then do it, damn it. I'm trying to help everybody. I'm trying to make a community. Check this out. All right. Let's talk about property is power. I've been saying it. I've been telling y'all. The new redlining, how algorithms are quietly blocking Black ownership. I'm telling you, the lag is so damn real. It's ridiculous. So we're going to talk about money, power, and one of the slickest ways inequality keeps getting repackaged as innovation. For decades, banks used redlining to openly deny Black neighborhoods access to mortgages and investment. They literally drew lines around Black communities and treated them as too risky to serve. That wasn't accidental. It was policy. And because ownership has long been one of the main ways families build wealth in America, the racist policies, give me a second, help lock generations of Black people out of stability, equity, and inherited opportunity. Now, the obvious red line on paper may be gone, but exclusion didn't disappear. It evolved. Today, more and more mortgage decisions are shaped by algorithms, AI systems, and automated underwriting tools. These systems are marketed as objective, efficient, and race neutral. The sell point is that computers remove human bias. Sounds cute, but computers learn from data, and America's data is soaked in racism. That's the problem. If Black communities were historically denied access to credit, stable housing, good jobs, and asset building opportunities, then the data reflects those outcomes. And when algorithms are trained on that history, they can end up reproducing the same inequalities without ever saying the quiet part out loud. So now discrimination doesn't always need a person with racist intent. It just needs a system trained on racist results. That means zip codes become a stand-in for race. Income volatility becomes a warning sign without any context. Credit gaps get treated like irresponsibility instead of the residue of exclusion. And Black borrowers can do everything right, get educated, work hard, earn solid income, pay bills responsibly, and still get hit with worse loan terms, more documentation requirements, higher interest rates, or quiet downgrades. That's what makes this version especially dangerous. It's harder to see. And because these systems are often black boxes, people don't even know why they got the result they got. They're just told no or told yes with a cost sign so high it still functions like a no. Ah shit, that was almost my car note. Shit. That matters because property is power. Ownership affects family wealth, stability, graduation rates, neighborhood investment, and whether a family can build anything that lasts beyond one generation. So when access to ownership gets filtered through invisible systems that quietly reproduce discrimination, the wealth gap keeps widening without one dramatic headline. The answer is not to fear technology. The answer is to challenge the lie that technology is automatically fair. Because we do not demand transparency, better oversight. If we do not demand transparency, better oversight, alternative credit measures, and serious fair lending enforcement, then redlining will keep happening just with a cleaner branding and better software. That's the truth. All right. We got one more business one, if you don't mind. Boom. How investors are making profits flipping houses in 2026. Let's check that out. I'm telling you right now, this is a weird night. Okay, so damn it. Okay. Damn it. All right. Now, for anybody who are dreaming about getting into real estate and flipping houses in 2026, experts are saying the market could offer some opportunities. But let me say this up front. HGTV has lied to a lot of people. House flipping is not just cute backsplash, a ring light, and we opened up the concept. It is math, stress, permits, contractors, delays, surprise mold, hidden plumbing issues, and that kind of budget heartbreak that will have you staring at drywall like it personally betrayed you. That said, real estate analysts believe 2026 could be more favorable for flippers because some house price growth has slowed, competition has eased in some places, and lower interest rates may create better buying conditions. In simple terms, some deals may be easier to find than they were when everybody and their cousin was calling themselves an investor. House flipping, at its core, means buying a distressed property below market value, renovating strategically, and selling it for a profit. The key word is strategically. Personally, if I could do that, I would live in that fucker. One of the biggest mistakes flippers, there goes my script again. All right, one of the biggest mistakes flippers make is overpaying for the property at the start. If you buy too high, no amount of modern farmhouse paint is going to save you. Another common mistake is over renovating based on personal taste instead of what the market actually wants. You love imported tile and dramatic gold fixtures. That sounds tacky. The neighborhood may not care. Uh, the buyers may not care. Your bank account definitely cares. Then there's poor marketing. If the listing photos are bad, the staging is lazy, or the home looks unfinished online, people scroll right past it. Experts recommend careful budgeting from the beginning. That means factoring in the purchase, price, labor, materials, hidden repairs, insurance, financing, holding costs, selling fees, because it's never just the price of the house and some paint from aisle 7. I hate these damn traffic. Experts recommend careful budgeting from the beginning. That means factoring in the purchase, the price, labor, materials, hidden repairs, insurance, financing, holding costs, and selling fees, because it's never just the price of the house and some paint from aisle 7. Could have sworn I just said that. A common guideline is the 70% rule. Take 70% of the home's after repair value, then subtract renovation costs. That helps determine the maximum you should pay. And please get permits when permits are needed. Plumbing, electrical, roofing, HVAC, structural work. You cannot just freestyle your way through those and hope the city is in a forgiving mood. Also, taxes matter. If you sell in under a year, short-term capital gains can take a bigger bite. So yes, 2026 might offer chances for disciplined flippers, but this is not free money. It rewards planning, restraint, and knowing the market. Not ego, not delusion, and definitely not buying a collapsing house because your spirit said investment. Well, if your spirit is saying investment like that, I feel bad for you, for real. Let's move on because we're moving into education. Give me just a moment. There it is. I am so serious. The lag is ridiculous. Anyways, Black students report higher school safety concerns. Black students are less likely than white students to feel safe at school. According to findings from Youth Truth, which surveyed nearly 200,000 students and 19,000 educators nationwide, fewer than 40% of Black students say they believe their school is safe. And for white students, that number is over half. When it comes to high schoolers who frequently worry about their safety, Black students report that at significantly higher rates. Now, some people hear school safety immediately think about metal detectors, cameras, and active shooter drills. But this report makes an important point. Safety is not something you can just buy in bulk and install in the hallway. Safety is culture, and for Black students, school often does not feel safe because the environment itself can be hostile, unequal, and deeply biased. Black students are more likely to be suspended or expelled. They are more likely to be viewed through an adultified disciplinary lens. Even in the early grades, Black boys are often treated more harshly and given less patience than white boys doing similar things. So when a Black student says school feels unsafe, that can mean more than fear of violence. It can mean fear of humiliation, fear of being singled out, fear of being punished unfairly, fear of being constantly watched, misread, or treated like a problem. And that kind of environment reflects learning. Students who do not feel safe have a harder time focusing academically, and they are more likely to show signs of mental health struggles. That is, give me a second here. God dang, I hate that. That is why the report says schools need more than emergency plans. They need real relationship building. They need to treat students like human beings with voices, gifts, and leadership potential. That means creating strong support systems, investing in after-school spaces, elevating student voices, and building a school culture where kids actually feel seen. Because a school can have shiny security equipment and still feel emotionally unsafe. And too often, Black students are expected to succeed in environments that do not fully protect their dignity. That is that's not the student's fault. That's the institution's. All right. Now let's stop. I'm gonna go ahead and do my commercial real quick, and when we get back, we're gonna start with celebrity news. We got some sick people. I mean, like health wise, and then we just got stuff. Okay, give me just one moment. I'll be right back. Where's my damn commercial? This is ridiculous. There we go.
It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the. It's just me and the fam. Yeah, yeah. It's just me and the fam. See my little tay, that's my girl, my mascot. No one's go foul since somehow until we pass out. Stay inside the house, turn up, get the racks out. Stay inside the house, turn.
All right, we back, and apparently this dude got some issues. I don't know what his issue is, but he got some. So Amy Luciani accuses husband Dwight Howard of using and saying CPS has removed daughter from home. That's fucked up. If one person can get one child taken out of your home, that's a really bad. Wow. Anyways, so Amy Luciani, also legally known as Amber Rose Howard, has gone public with disturbing accusations against her husband, former NBA star Dwight Howard. In an emotional video, Luciani claimed that the Child Protective Services removed her daughter from their home, and she accused Howard of drug use and pressuring one of his children to cover for him. How the hell do you do that? Damn. According to Luciani, CPS and police have been to their home 3 times in less than 3 months. She says the situation escalated to the point where she caught Howard allegedly coaching his 12-year-old son on what to say. And in one of the more jarring moments from the video, she held up a bag and a vial containing what she described as white powdery substance, saying in frustration that this is what she is losing her marriage to. Now, to be clear, these are allegations, and as of this point, Dwight Howard has not publicly responded. But the claims are serious, especially because children are involved. Luciani also spoke about why she says she stayed in the marriage longer than she wanted to. She said after initially filing for divorce last July, people around her pressured her to stay, telling her marriage means staying by someone through sickness and struggle. She says she tried. She says she told people she was spiraling. She says she stayed because others told her not to walk away so quickly. But now, in her words, the situation has gone too far, and it's no longer just about her, it's about her kids. And that's the part people need to hear. Too many women, hold on, give me a second. Too many women are told to hold it down, pray through it, love him through it, or stay for appearance, even when the situation is unstable, unsafe, or spiraling into chaos. That pressure can become its own trap. So while the internet will definitely turn this gossip into gossip and shade room bait, the real issue here is whether there is a danger in that household and whether the children involved are protected. Because once CPS is involved repeatedly, this is no longer celebrity drama. This is a family crisis, and that is a very different conversation. All right, we got another update with this dude. I seem to report about him almost every other week, and it's going to stay that way, I guess. Sharon Moore reaches plea deal in harassment case and awaits sentencing. Jesus. A former Michigan football coach's downfall is now moving into its next chapter after a plea deal in a domestic-related case. Sharon Moore, the former Michigan head football coach, pleaded no contest in December to 2 misdemeanor charges: malicious use of telecommunication devices in a domestic relationship and trespassing. However, the heifer has not been fired yet. Those pleas came as part of an agreement that dropped more serious original charges, including felony home invasion, breaking and entering, and stalking in a domestic relationship. Moore's attorney says the more serious charges were not supported by the facts and that the plea deal reflects that. Prosecutors say the resolution came after reviewing the evidence and the legal circumstances, and they hope it provides accountability while allowing the victim to move forward. That's fine for me. I'm sick or tired of this shit. Moore still has to be sentenced and is due back in court on April 14th. He could technically face up to a year in prison, which is not as bad as some people have it, though some legal observation believe actual jail time is unlikely. Still, the public fall has already happened. Moore is only 40 years old, had been in a major leadership position at one of the college football's most high-profile programs. He took over after Jim Harbaugh, I don't know, and been part of the team's 2024 national championship era. But after his firing, the allegations took a much darker turn. According to reports, Moore was accused of trying to break into the staffer's apartment and threatening her with a knife. The staffer involved is no longer, now she got fired, no longer employed by the university as her contract expired, motherfucker, and was not renewed. She should have got fired with him. The university has also reportedly launched 2 separate investigations into the football program following Moore's arrest and questions surrounding staff conduct. And this is the part that people keeps happening in sports. Programs build massive brands around decisions, leadership, culture, accountability, all the favorite press conference words. Then one scandal hits and suddenly you see how much of that language was just laminated wallpaper over dysfunction. Because no matter how many wins are on the record, when personal conduct spirals into allegations like this, the entire image of the program changes. So while the plea deal may narrow the legal case, it does not erase the public collapse. That is the part that is already written. I don't know what to tell you. This shit is ridiculous. But let's move on, because apparently we got celebrities that are sick as fuck. I don't know. Hold on. Let me see what the next story is. Because we got at least 2 Sigma, y'all. This is the beginning. I don't know if this should be in health or if this should be somewhere else. But damn it, we got a lot of sick motherfuckers. Check this one out. Shit. Hold on. Where's my damn thing? All right. Give me a second. I think it's this one.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
It was. Yay. I don't know who this girl is, but I thought she had braces until I looked at her mouth, and I'm just wondering, how much did that cost? Because that looks like, wow. That looks like, I'm not sure if that was supposed to happen there. But hell, it's her money. So they basically said, what is her name? Mona Leo cancels the Who Did the Body tour. Why? After emergency surgery, my health always will come first. I've never heard of this woman, but okay. Houston rapper Mona Leo has officially canceled the rest of her Who Did the Body tour. And while fans are disappointed, this is one of those moments where common sense has to win over entertainment. She announced the decision on Friday, March 6th, calling it one of the hardest choices she had to make in her career. And you could tell from her statement that this was not some casual, we'll reschedule, love y'all kind of announcement. She said this had been a day-by-day decision, and she finally had to admit she was not in a position to get back on stage the way fans deserve. That matters because too many artists are pushed to perform through pain, smile through sickness, and keep the money train rolling while their bodies are waving red flags like, girl, sit down before we shut this whole operation down. Honestly, if you ask me, some of these older folks need to do that too. Shit, your voice is not the same. Earlier this week, Mona Leo shared that she had a serious health scare after feeling the sharp pain in her lower abdomen. She went to the hospital on March 3rd, and doctors found an inflamed cyst the size of a softball. A softball, that's horrible. This is not drink some tea and sleep it off pain. That is, somebody get me to the ER right now pain. She ended up She ended up needing emergency surgery, and afterwards she told fans that if she had ignored her body and not gone in, things could have been much worse. That part right there is important, especially for black women, because too many of us are trained to push through pain, downplay symptoms, and keep functioning like our suffering is part of the schedule. Mona Leo used the moment to encourage fans to actually listen to their bodies when something feels wrong, and that's real advice. I wish somebody had listened to me when I told them it was wrong. I wouldn't have had to get surgery this damn late. The tour originally kicked off on November 30th and was supposed to continue through the US and Canada until March 21st. But now she says she's taking the month to recover and heal properly. And honestly, good. Because no show is worth risking your health. No crowd is worth collapsing for. No performance is worth pretending your body didn't just survive emergency surgery. She ended her message by saying, "Pimp cess down, but never out." Okay, she done made a new word. Great. And that's probably the best way to frame it. She's not down. She's not done. She's recovering. And a culture that treats rest like weakness, it actually takes strength to pause. Yeah, dude, it really do. Because I'm serious. And just going to hit you with another sick one. I don't know what the hell's wrong with these damn pop stars, R&B stars, what the hell ever they are. Look at this. Jeremiah steps away from Boys for Life tour as he deals with undisclosed health issue. Whew. Singer Jeremiah has officially withdrawn from Boys for Life tour right as it was supposed to begin, citing ongoing health complications. I'm sorry, but anything that has boys in it at this point right now, after Who the Hell is about to come out in May, all right, or April, ugh. The announcement came on Friday, March 6th, the very day that the tour was scheduled to kick off. Fans were expecting him to join a nostalgic lineup that includes B2K, Bow Wow, A-Marie, Pretty Ricky, and other familiar names from the Scream Tour era. Instead, Jeremiah let people know he needed to step away and focus on his care and recovery. And honestly, after what this man has already survived, nobody should be pressuring him to push through anything. I don't know what he went through, so I be in my own business trying to survive life. Okay, so in his statement, Jeremiah said he's dealing with a serious medical condition that is closely monitored by his doctor. He thanked fans for their patience and support, but he made it clear that his health has to come first. Now, for people who forgot, this is not the first time Jeremiah's career has been interrupted by a serious medical crisis. Back in 2020, he was hospitalized with multi-system inflammatory syndrome, a rare but severe condition associated with the COVID. He spent weeks in the ICU at Northwestern Memorial Hospital in Chicago, and his recovery was brutal. Later, he spoke publicly about having to relearn basic functions. He lost a lot of weight. He struggled to walk. He needed physical therapy just to make it to the bathroom. Imagine surviving all that, then having the internet still acting like every canceled appearance is some personal betrayal. I didn't even notice. No, sometimes people are really sick. I don't be paying attention to people that hard. Seriously, I don't. I got too much shit to deal with. Jeremiah said even after leaving the hospital, simple things like walking up the stairs were difficult. That tells you how serious the damage was. So if he is now saying he needs to step back from a 28-date national tour, then people need to hear that for what it is. Health decisions, not a flaky celebrity moment. The Boys for Life tour is still open in Louisville on March 6th and is scheduled to travel through cities like Charlotte, Houston, Las Vegas, Atlanta, and wrap up in Memphis on April 26th. But Jeremiah will not be part of it. And while fans may be disappointed, this is one of those times where the humane response is simple. Wish that man healing, because a tour can be replaced, a body cannot. All right, that is it for that. We're about to go into health. We'll go ahead and do my commercial one more time. And when we get back, let me bring this down. When we get back, we will be looking at we will be looking at the health. So here we go. Damn it. Why do you do this? Just play. You motherfucker. So we doing this, huh? Why won't you play? I know you're there. Yeah, the file is there. The file is there. What the fuck? Why don't you play? Do I need to do a huge ass like thing to say it? Play, damn it, play. I hate this shit so much. Give me a second here. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna just keep doing that as I go look at the next story. Because this is ridiculous. How did it stop? You know, I hate you. I hate you, really. I really do. Does this one work? Great, that one worked.
I can't say no.
I just closed it.
Laying house to stay home with my
Hold on,
soul.
I don't know what's going on.
I can't say.
I closed that bitch.
No, I
give me a second here. I can't. We're not doing this. This is ridiculous. Y'all probably maybe can hear me. I don't know. But I can't continue until my computer comes back. I don't know what the hell's going on with my damn OBS. It's fucking around on me.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Thank you for coming back, jackass. All right. Give me a second here. I gotta connect shit now. So annoying. So fucking annoying. All right. Virtual camera. Let's wait because the lag is real. It is so fucking real. I'm not even gonna fuck around with it. I'm just gonna go straight to the damn health. This is ridiculous. Shit, man. Where's my health? Because this is just ridiculous.
We are at war.
Where's my button? God dang it. Now that doesn't work. I really hate this so much. I do. I really do. It's just annoying. There. Okay, there it is. So, study links obesity to dementia risk. That's amazing. How could that happen? I don't know. This lag is just so serious. It's ridiculously serious. A growing body research of a growing body of research is shining light on something deeply concerning. Obesity may help accelerate cognitive decline and increase the risk of Alzheimer's disease, and Black communities are being hit especially hard by the conditions surrounding that risk. Black Americans are already nearly twice as likely as white Americans to develop dementia, and they also experience some of the highest obesity rates in the country. So when new research starts connecting those dots more clearly, people need to pay attention. At Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis, I don't understand how you got all them damn places there. Dr. Cyrus Raji and his team are studying a visceral fat. The deep abdominal fat linked to diabetes, heart disease, and metabolic dysfunction may also be linked to early Alzheimer related brain changes. And the scary part is how early those changes can begin. Researchers say Alzheimer pathology can start developing 20 to 25 years before it ever shows up. Oh, fuck, that's horrible. I don't need to know about that shit. It could be here and I don't even know it. Oh. So by the time somebody starts noticing memory problems, the problem has been unfolding for decades already. That is why this research matters. The team is using abdominal MRIs and brain scans to look at the relationship between visceral fat and the earliest markers of Alzheimer's. And they are also paying attention to social conditions around those risks, because this is not just about individual choices and salads. It's also about structural racism, chronic stress, neighborhood disadvantage, limited access to healthy food, lower access to health care, and the long-term wear that inequality places on the body. In places like St. Louis, where Black residents make up a large share of population, those patterns are especially visible. The research points to things like food deserts, economic hardship, and unequal community investment as part of the broader health picture. And here's another problem. Black Americans are still badly underrepresented in brain research and Alzheimer clinical trials. That means the communities most affected are often the least included in the studies shaping the future treatments. That mistrust did not appear out of anywhere. It was earned through a long history of medical abuse and exploitation, from Tuskegee to Henrietta Lacks to the non-consensual experimentation inflicted on Black women. So researchers are also having to do the work of rebuilding trust, not just collecting data. The big takeaway here is the dementia prevention may need to start much earlier than people think. That is terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying. And if we are serious about reducing Black health disparities, then we cannot talk about brain health without also talking about stress, food access, neighborhood conditions, and whether Black communities are actually being invested in. Because memory loss may begin in the brain, but the risk is often being built by the environment. All right, let's move on, because we are doing health as always. Let me see if I can get this one done. All right, let's see if I can do it. We are at war. All right. South Carolinians continue colleagues' push for maternal health. South Carolina is once again being forced to face a brutal truth. Black women in the state are far more likely to die from childbirth-related complications, and people in maternal health space are saying loudly what should already be obvious. This is not normal, and it is not acceptable. Black women in South Carolina are reportedly 4 times more likely to die from childbirth related causes than white women. 4 times. 4 times. And there's no biological reason for that. This is about systems, access, neglect, bias, policy failure, and healthcare structures that still does not protect Black mothers the way it should. This latest community gathering was especially emotional because it also honored Dr. Janelle Green Smith, a respected nurse, midwife, and doctor of nursing practice who died on New Year's Day shortly after giving birth to her premature daughter. Her death devastated the local birth workers, patients, and legal and colleagues, because she was not just another name in a statistic. She was a caregiver, an advocate, and part of the very community trying to save Black mothers' lives. The event brought together healthcare leaders, doulas, therapists, and families to talk about solutions, including community-based care, mental health support, better postpartum support, and policy reform. And one major issue keeps coming up: Medicaid. In South Carolina, Medicaid pays for about half of all births, which means any conversation about maternal health has to include Medicaid policy. That state That state did extend postpartum Medicare coverage from 60 days to 12 months in 2022, and that was important. But advocates say it's still not enough. They are also pushing for things like reimbursing community doulas, increasing support in rural areas, and addressing the fact that some families have to drive 45 minutes or more just to access maternity care. That is ridiculous in a country that loves to brag about being advanced. One of the voices highlighted in this conversation was Simone Lee, a doula and co-founder of Be Collective, a Black women-led organization offering affordable, community-based birth support in South Carolina Low Country. Damn, I need to be there. She became a doula after her own traumatic birth experiences, which tells you how often Black women are forced to turn pain into service because the system keeps failing us. And that is the bigger truth here. Black women are constantly being told to advocate for themselves in medical spaces that should already be listening. That is exhausting. Dr. Greensmith's legacy lives on in people she mentioned and the family she cared for. But nobody should have to be memorialized this way while lawmakers keep dragging their feet. Because honoring Black mothers means more than posting tributes. It means building systems where they survive. And that is so damn true. All right, I'm going to try and bring this down. And once again, I'm going to try to do my commercial. If you like what I'm doing, or if you don't like what I'm doing and you have some suggestions, please hit me up in the comments, like, share, subscribe, get my word out, because, some people could really use knowing what's going on while their heads are down. All right, so check my commercial out. Hopefully it works. Yay.
It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the. It's just me and the fam. Yeah, yeah. It's just me and the fam. See my little tay say that's my hype girl, that's my mascot. No one's go for hours and some hours till we pass out. Stay inside the house, turned up with them racks out. Stay inside the house, turn.
Tonight, a woman in Westwood says she is being terrorized by a raccoon.
Brady Williams joins us after talking with the mother of three whose home has been invaded every night for almost a week.
The thing you have to understand about raccoons is they carry so many diseases that it's very difficult to do anything about them. If you have one in your home, you think it might be sick or isn't afraid of humans, you're supposed to trap it and then get it taken care of either by re-releasing it in your property, which wouldn't work here, or by euthanizing it, which most people can't do. That's why she says she's had so much trouble. Alexis Hubbard says she moved in on February 10th. She didn't like that the stove didn't work, but by February 20th, she heard a bigger problem.
They were too loud to be mice. Almost like as if it's dragging things up here.
On March 1st, she saw this.
It is a raccoon prowling my home.
She says this hole on the building's roof is how he gets in, making his way through the ceiling to a wall in the kitchen.
This is where the animal comes and goes. Through my kitchen cabinet, where I serve food to my young children, bringing trash in from other homes, dirty diapers.
In the living room, it gets worse.
The raccoon defecates in the home.
She says on Monday she reported the animal to Savin Holdings LLC, who, according to the Hamilton County Auditor's records, acquired the building a few days before she spotted the raccoon on camera. Just before 8 on Thursday, she says the owner dropped off an animal trap and a written notice ordering her to vacate the premises before April 30th.
I have hours of footage of this animal in my home.
I've tried to contact the owner 3 times over the last 2 days. After leaving 2 voicemails, this was my 3rd attempt to ask about the situation.
Hello?
Hi, this is Brady Williams with Fox 19. Is this,
Damn.
Coming here and signing a lease, I felt that I had finally found some peace and some recourse to enjoy our home. And now it feels like the rug has been pulled up from under me, and I don't even know if we're going to have somewhere to live.
She says her biggest concern is for her son, who has cerebral palsy.
His main method of transportation is crawling. He is not able to go around his own house at all. because it's unsafe for him. I don't know what biohazards are on the floor.
Hubbard says the health department sent an inspector on Thursday to confirm the animal's existence, and they're working to order the property owner to remove it.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm praying for the best.
With the trap now in the home, she says that she essentially has to wait for it to get caught and then notify her landlord, who will then somehow take care of it from there. If you ever have a raccoon in your home, what they recommend you do is open all the doors and windows so that it eventually gets out. If you do think it is sick or disease, you should call Ohio DNR or the health department. With photojournalist Chris Waldman, Brady Williams, Fox 19 now.
Look, I'm not even gonna read all that stuff because she already told you all her business. The girl is young and it's horrible what's going on because, you know, her child crawls around and raccoons are just gross. They're just fucking gross, okay? So, according to reports, the landlord, Savin Holdings, LLC, eventually placed a trap for the animal on Thursday night. Eventually. Because apparently the response time was raccoon in the ceiling, raccoon in the cupboard, raccoon in the living room, raccoon basically filing for a residency, and then maybe we'll put a trap out. Damn. And just to add extra chaos, the article is also referenced that another raccoon in Virginia that authorities blame for multiple break-ins, including one where it ended up passed out drunk on the floor of ABC liquor store bathroom, which is honestly the most raccoon sentence ever written. But jokes aside, Alexis Hubbard should not have to live like this. Wildlife intrusion is not just inconvenient, it can be dangerous, unsanitary, and especially harmful in a household with a medically vulnerable child. So no, that raccoon is not quirky. He is ignorant as hell. That bastard is rude. That raccoon needs to be removed, and that building needs to be repaired, and she shouldn't have to pay. They're talking about evacuate. Motherfucker, no. You need to fix this shit, and you need to put me in a hotel. That's what they should be doing. That's the real thing about that. Moving on, because I'm not done. These animals be doing shit, and y'all think I be joking. Look at this shit right here. I'm telling you, it's all connecting. It's all connecting. That's all I'm saying. I'm not doing a video this time, but I'm serious. Check this one out. Where is it? Where's my damn animals thing? There it is. This damn, we should have ended a while back, but shit been happening. I don't know what the internet is crazy. But this is the last story. African antelope on the loose in Nashville neighborhood. What the hell is an African antelope doing in Nashville? The fuck? All right, and finally, because America is apparently committed to becoming one long, strange side mission, residents in a Nashville neighborhood are tracking an escaped African antelope. Yes, an antelope. Specifically an oryx, which is the species native to Africa, and not exactly what people expected to see sprinting through traffic in Joelton, Tennessee before breakfast. One resident, Lance Carter, snapped photos of the animal after spotting it near Old Marrowbone Road. No one should ever say that sentence ever. He said when he first saw the part of it sticking out of the woods, he thought it was just a really big goat. Are you serious, dude? An antelope and a goat do not look alike. Which is fair because when you wake up in Tennessee and you see horns in the bush, large, confused goat is probably where the mind goes first. Another resident, Gigi De Lugo, gave the animal a name, Leonard. Really? You're naming him Leonard? Why? So now the neighborhood has apparently adopted a mystery antelope and turned it into a local celebrity. People say Leonard has been spotted all over the area, in yards, on roads, around farms, just out here freelancing and minding everyone else's business instead of his own. Residents have described the whole thing as a welcome distraction, and honestly, I get it. The world is exhausting. Sometimes an antelope on the loose is an emotional support headline people didn't know they needed. Still, folks are hoping Leonard gets caught before somebody gets hurt, or there's a serious car accident. Why the hell did y'all name him Leonard? God dang it, you weirdos. Damn you, Leonard. God dang you, Leonard. Who the hell owns this motherfucker is what I want to know. How the hell? Okay, so, and of course, this is reminding people of Ed the zebra, who ran loose in Rutherford County for 8 days in 2025. So apparently Tennessee has become the place where exotic animals periodically clock in, escape, and create a temporary community bonding experience. And as for where Leonard came from, nobody seems totally sure. Some locals suspect he may have escaped from an exotic animal farm. Why is that there? Why is there an exotic animal farm in Tennessee? Tennessee is not exotic. I just want y'all to know that. And apparently, Tennessee's law does not prohibit ownership of an oryx, which raises one more question about this country. Why are there so many places where people can just casually own animals that belong on a documentary narrated by somebody with a British accent? Please tell me. But until Leonard is safely caught, the neighborhood remains on antelope watch because nothing says normal week in America like traffic yards and a loose African hoofed mammal named Leonard. Why the hell did they name him Leonard? Is this because of Bill Cosby or something? Is this a racial joke? I don't get it. Either way, Leonard need to go somewhere because I don't know what to say about Leonard. Leonard just pissed me the hell off just walking around there. Why did they name him Leonard? Look, I just left Louisiana, and apparently there's a big-ass cat somewhere there. Nobody has named that fucker. I have seen it. I have not tried to take a picture of it. I looked at it, and I quick stepped back into my house after I took the trash out. I don't know where that motherfucker is. I'm not trying to name that motherfucker. I pray to God no one I know ever sees that motherfucker. So, I don't know what to tell you, but that disrespectful raccoon and that antelope might be connected to that motherfucker in the White House, that damn naked, ugly ass orangutan. That's it. Maybe tomorrow. That's it for tonight. Maybe the next time you see me, I'll be a brunette again. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. Thank y'all for coming. I love y'all. If not for y'all, I would be nothing because I'm a small channel. Good night and take care. Where the hell is my outro? There it is.
I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road, I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul.